Mana, moko nicha, moko mana. Nave surenyo bose moko nicha na moko mana. In mon neko nicha na mokon neko mana. Welcome to another episode of Dishome Kidawida. My name is Masaka Mdawida Tiki. Professionally, I am a linguist and I'm also a huge lover of languages. And without a doubt, Kidawida nicho chaimbiri. Welcome to this episode and welcome to Dishome Kidawida. If it is your first time here, karibu sana, feel at home. This is where we explore, learn, and speak Kidawida. And if you're returning to this platform, Chavcha Nandigi, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. Have you subscribed to our channel? Have you? If yes, Chavcha Nandigi. If no, kindly subscribe to our channel. Also, remember to follow us on TikTok and also remember to follow us on X. As you can see from the title, on today's lesson we are going to learn about past tense in Kidawida. So without much ado, let's get started. So past tense is used to describe actions, events, and situations that happened in the past. And on this specific episode, we are going to look at how past tense is used in the Davida community. So what we are going to do, we are going to use 3 sentences in this lesson, and we are going to look at these sentences in all the persons. What do I mean? We are going to look at each sentence based on the first person, the second person, and the third person, both in singular and in plural. So in Kidawida, the past tense is marked by the morpheme re. And you'll be able to see this pattern based on the data that I'm going to use on this lesson. So the first sentence in our lesson today is Nereshomia Mwavache. That means I studied at Mwavache. And the verb in our sentence is Nereshomia. Of course, our language is an agglutinating language. So there are so many components that are carried by the phrase Nereshomia. But the main focus here is the verb. And the verb is shoma, which means study. So if you want to say, I studied, you will say in first person singular, Nereshomia. Okay? So the sentence, Nereshomia Mwavache, means I studied at Mwavache. I hope you can see the re, the morpheme that I was talking about. You will actually see this pattern throughout all the sentences that I'm going to use in this lesson. So the sentence in plural would be Nereshomia Mwavache. That means we studied at Mwavache. That is in the first person plural. So in singular, Nereshomia. In plural, Dereshomia. You see the re still constant on both sentences. Let's go to the second person using the same exact sentence. You will say Koreshomia Mwavache. That is in the second person singular. Koreshomia Mwavache. That is, you studied at Mwavache. In plural, that would be Moreshomia Mwavache. You studied at Mwavache in the plural form. The third person in that sentence would be Oreshomia Mwavache. That means he or she studied at Mwavache. In plural, that would be Vereshomia Mwavache. That means they studied at Mwavache. So that is one sentence in all the 3 persons in singular and in plural. All of them in the past. Let's look at the second sentence. Our sentence is Nerekavoi mwakausirie. Nerekavoi mwakausirie. That means I was in Voi last year. That is in first person singular. In first person plural, it will be Nerekavoi mwakausirie. That means we were in Voi last year. In second person, the sentence would be koreka Voi mwaka usirie. That means you were in Voi last year. In plural, that will be moreka Voi mwaka usirie. That means you were in Voi last year. In third person, this would be oreka Voi mwaka usirie. That is, he or she was in Voi last year. In plural, that would be vereka Voi mwaka usirie. That is the third person plural, which translates to they were in Voi last year. Then our third sentence and our last sentence for this lesson is nerepwana chao icho. Nerepwana chao icho. That means I met Chao the day before yesterday. So icho means the day before yesterday. And of course, we talked about this in our previous episodes. So the plural of this sentence would be erepwana chao icho. Chao is a female given name. So nerepwana chao icho means we met Chao the day before yesterday. In the second person, our sentence would be korepwana chao icho. That means you met Chao the day before yesterday. That is in the singular form. And in the plural form, that will be morepwana chao icho. That means you met Chao the day before yesterday. The last sentence is orepwana chao icho. That is in the third person. Orepwana chao icho. That is, he or she met Chao the day before yesterday. That is in the singular form. So in plural, this sentence would be verepwana chao icho. Verepwana chao icho. That is in the third person plural, which means they met Chao the day before yesterday. So what I want you to note from the data that we have used in our lesson today, there is a pattern here. When you're talking about the first person, we are using nere, and then you add the verb. That is in the singular. In plural, nere, and then you say the verb, you attach the verb. In the second person, kore, then you add the verb. In the plural form of the second person, more, then you attach the verb. And in the third person, we are using ore, then you add the verb. And in the plural, we are using vere, and then you attach the verb. So that is the format. And if you look across all the sentences that we have used today, you will notice the pattern of the morpheme that I had mentioned when we were starting this lesson, that the past tense in Kidawida is marked by the morpheme re, which is attached in the verb. And as you can see on the examples, I have been able to show how the past tense is marked using that specific morpheme. I believe that you have been able to grasp something. I believe that you have been able to understand what we have learned today. So before I leave, I'll also want to remind you what I always remind you to do. We are selling our merchandise. We are selling our round necks. We are selling our polo t-shirts. We are selling our hoodies, and we are also selling our pens. If you're interested in getting any of the items that I have just mentioned, kindly reach out to my inbox using the contacts that have been provided on the screen. Otherwise, I believe that this lesson has been beneficial to you. I believe that you have been able to learn something new in Kidawida today, and it is always my greatest joy and pleasure to be doing this and to be teaching you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to follow us on our TikTok account as well as our X account, and also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Remember, this is where we explore, learn, and speak Kidawida. See you in the next one. Bye!